Hello and welcome to the Snackdown, sponsored by Walker's Crisps. Yes, if music be the food of love, comedy is the crisps of love, or something, I don't know. So thank you for joining us for this month's trawl through some internet fun, and joining me this month as well. Well, if you cut my first guest through the middle like a stick of rock, you'll find the word funny inside. Please don't try that at home, it's a metaphor, and it's Omid Djalili.
Wow, that's amazing. No one's ever said that to me before. That's beautiful.
Right, well, I was thinking about the whole funny bones thing. You know, how comedy...
Oh, you have that. You had that.
Oh, God bless
You're
you.
hilarious.
No, but you
You're
have
the funniest
it,
guys I ever saw in the
No,
comedy
you're
scene.
one of the funniest guys.
You are.
No, you are.
Oh,
Also joining us again is a man who, if you cut him through the middle like a tree, you'd only find a few rings because he's so young. Again, don't try that at home. It's Adam Hess. Hello, Adam.
Hello, David.
Well, welcome back. I think we can say you're a regular now.
Finally,
Yeah.
someone would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a regular guy.
Yeah. Okay, and finally I'm joined by someone who, if you cut them through the middle... Actually, that's a terrible metaphor. It's getting macabre now. I'm going to stop. Please welcome funny comedian Angela Barnes.
No, thanks for having me, and thank you for not cutting me. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I don't know why I wrote funny comedian down. It's like
Bit of a tautology.
a bit of a
there.
tautology, although, I've seen some. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. And it's been quite a month since our last podcast, or vodcast. In the past month, we've had Father's Day, or Payday as it's known in the novelty slipper industry, with dads across the country truly enjoying a visit from their kids, mainly because it allowed them to discuss the routes they took on the way. Britain was hit by a heat wave, with the tube in London becoming so hot that commuters started getting up extra early to put towels down on their seats. Actually, as a cyclist of a certain age, when it's a hot day, I'm always agonising. Well, what's the cut-off for taking your top off as a male? Are you a
lycra cyclist?
I'm not a lycra cyclist, but I have to admit that I'm not as toned as I was. I mean, in the end, I compromised and I took my top off, but kept my bra on. But it seemed to work. What else? Yes, music festival season is now truly upon us. Remember, scientists have proven you can accurately calculate how irritating a friend is by how long they keep wearing their wristband after a festival is over. And people's attentions were turning to their summer holidays, which for me means running the gauntlet of the luggage carousel. I always worry my bags will be the oldest, cheapest ones on the carousel, but that's just the worst case scenario. I thank you.
Oh, dear.
I so enjoyed doing that terrible pun. But now it's time to see what's caught our eye this month in the internet with the section that we call Inside the Packet, because it's Walker's, you see. Do you see what we've done?
I like this. It's very good.
Yeah. And skinny jeans trended on Twitter and Facebook this month after a woman had to be taken to hospital to be cut out of her jeans after her calves swelled up. Wow. She was sort of doing a lot. She was cleaning her house, I think, or moving house or something. She was doing a lot of squatting, and her calves swollen, and she had to be taken to the hospital because she was in skinny jeans.
Are you wearing skinny jeans?
Goodness no.
Oh no.
I could never.
Do you not wear skinny
Not
jeans?
allowed.
As in what?
What your doctor's told you?
It looks bizarre if I wear them. It feels like I'm wearing just really opaque tights. I also like to know that I can become naked in 5 seconds, just if anything happens to me.
Right.
I should do
I
it.
can hear the sort of the 70s soul that started
Not in a
playing.
romantic way. I just don't like the idea that if in an emergency I can't be immediately naked.
What you can't see from here is Adam's clothes all held together with Velcro.
Tell me the scenario where it's an emergency scenario where you have to become naked in 5 seconds.
Fire? If you catch fire?
Only if your clothes are on fire. Do you need to be
course,
naked?
if your clothes catch fire.
Okay, skinny jeans?
Never, no. I mean, I'm a slightly rounded lady, so I'd just look like a Humpty Dumpty if I wore skinny jeans.
This is all awkward. I don't feel that. I don't really know what to. If I say, you are a rounded lady. Yeah. Is that what's the right response to that? I'm just going to let you say your thing because it's a minefield. But Omid. Skinny jeans Emporium. Come on, that's you, isn't it?
I can't believe you even asking me that question. I think maybe it's those of us who've become more middle-aged. We like to hang around the house and paint in loose clothing.
So this is all about loose clothing.
Whenever my wife leaves the house, I take my clothes off and try and corner the cat.
What?
That's a great thing I do.
These confessions. So Adam likes to be naked within 5 seconds.
Yeah. So I find clothing when it's more loose and kind of baggy.
But when you're on your own in your house,
naked, or just cornering the cat. I think that's a really underrated activity.
So you corner.
What do you do when you've cornered it?
You chase it around, and then when it's cornered, there's that moment where you it can't go anywhere. And there's a great standoff where will it go that way? You just move it, it stopped it there. And this can go on for like 5-10 minutes.
Absolutely.
And it finally goes and you grab its leg and it runs off, and then you breathe heavily and the activity's over.
If you have been affected
Maybe
by
it's
it, there is an RSPCA helpline that you can contact. Do you worry about the clothes you want? There's a bit of pressure to dress nicely, at least on a VOD.
No, in my stand-up, I talk a lot about how scruffy I am and how I don't care about clothes. So if I then turned up in a posh frock and stilettos, it wouldn't really fit my...
What do you wear on stage then?
I tend to wear... My main rule is always wear flat shoes on stage because I am terrified of falling over on my way onto a stage. Because I think once you've fallen over, that's it. Nothing you say is going to be as funny as someone falling over.
One of the first gigs I ever did, actually, so I take a minute to tell you this, I didn't think about what I wore. I wore very slippery new black shoes and I wore a kind of school grey shirt. It was one of my first ever gigs and there was an act. Do you know those really bad puppet acts where they drink and they can't and they can't do it and there's beer spillage everywhere? And I was so naive. I thought I'm going to come on like a Shakespearean actor and just jump on and really own the stage. And I came on and I didn't see the beer and I just slipped. I went flying, literally flying. And I landed hard and the crowd started laughing, but I was a bit winded. And when I came to take the microphone out, it wouldn't come out. So I was grappling with it. And when it came out, it hit me hard in the head and cut me. I went, ow! Gee, and the audience thought this is part of the act. So I've got a cut. I've got stuff on me. And then I start speaking and without realising the microphones the leads come out. So I'm going, hello. And someone says, the leads come out, you idiot. And because it was Proscenium March, I was looking for it and there wasn't that tape to show you the end of the stage. So I fell off the stage and the audience thought, this is genius.
That's the best act ever.
And all I remember was just, I was on the ground. All I could see was the roof and people said, get up, get back on, this is brilliant. So I was trying to get on the stage. It was a little bit too high to walrus on. I was jumping up and I lifted up my leg with black trousers and I ripped my pants with the white underwear. And I rolled on straight onto the beer. And so there I was, completely wet with a cut here. And I just went, can I start again? And the crowd went nuts. And I got booked immediately. People said, there's a new Charlie Chaplin act. You've got to book him. And that's how my career
And somewhere in the audience, there was a man called Lee Evans going, this gives me an idea. I like this.
So what did you do in your next gig? Did you try and replicate?
You can't recreate a trip to Casualty. Basically what you... Just about clothing, one thing about clothing is that, I hated shopping. I always hate, it's like you were talking about... it's like that thing that you get when you go into a shop. It reminds you of being a kid with museum feet, where you just something about crossing the threshold of a museum as a kid. Your feet are just so heavy, and clothing shops just do that for me. Do you enjoy shopping? Who buys your clothes?
I go shopping myself. I've learnt. I want to go back a little bit on the baggy stuff because I used to get really baggy like boxer shorts. Now I wear those tight ones because I had 3 times this happened when you wake up and I've got with the boxer shorts. That
I'm just so worried where this is going.
I have to go to a toilet down the corridor and. When I open the handle is very close to my groin. So as I walked in, I didn't know that the boxer short went into the handle. And as I walked in, I suddenly swung round and fell head first into the shower. And I was dangling and I had to take the boxer shorts off and I fell down. And this happened 3 times. I never really learnt. So now I'm very careful about things that could damage me. Also wardrobe malfunctions as well. I went into my wardrobe to get a shirt and the wardrobe fell on top of me. That's the kind of klutz I am. That's my wardrobe.
That's a cartoon move.
Is that real? Is that?
I went to get it and something I kind of like the YouTube clip of the wedding where they're by a pool and the guy slips and then I went in. I slipped as I went in and then the wardrobe fell on.
I went in. Not so long ago went into my sister's cupboard when I was back at my parents' house to scare her when she came back from the other room. I fell asleep
in the cupboard.
Yeah, and I woke up, I thought I was in like a coffin or something. I just forgot what I'd done. I just started screaming while she was also in the room. So she just...
I just wish it was called a closet. 'Cause
Yeah.
then, you know,
That reminds me of the time I hid in a wheelie bin. When I used to live in Camberwell, and we had a brand new wheelie bins had just been delivered. The first time we had wheelie bins. And I came home from the pub one night, and I thought I'd scare my flatmates. What I'd do is I'd get in a wheelie bin. Well, I got the wheelie bin up to the front door, got in it, rang the doorbell. Thinking when they answer the door, I'll just go, ah! What I didn't know was there was no one in. So I rang the doorbell, waited in the wheelie bin for ages, and then I couldn't get out of the wheelie bin.
get out of it.
So I had to wait for someone to get home and go, can you get me out of this wheelie bin?
What I love is the face you must have been pulling when you were waiting.
Yes.
Like, no matter how stupid you make someone look when you say boo, it's not nearly as stupid as you look when you're waiting. You're just going,
yeah.
So true.
And that slow realisation
They're not
that
coming.
there's no
one's coming to get me out.
Right, thanks for that. That's what I say at the end of every little section. Thanks for that. What else? Yes, also this month it was International Joke Day, something which I always celebrate by walking a horse into a bar.
The best joke I heard was the answer to why did the chicken cross the road? Because it crossed the road and it went into a library. Have you heard that one? And it looks at the librarian, the chicken goes, "Bork." And that's not the joke.
Okay.
And he thinks he wants a book, so he gives him a book. The chicken runs away. He comes back the next day, and the chicken goes, "Bork, bok, bok." He goes, "I think he wants 3 books." So he gives him 3 books, put it under his wing, and runs away. Comes back the next day and says, "Bork, bok, 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 bok." He goes, "That's 1, 2, 3, 5." So he gives him 5 books. Chicken runs away, and he follows the chicken. And the chicken goes across the road into a forest area, and by a pond, he's put the books out systematically in front of a massive toad that's going, "Read it, read it."
Oh, God.
Isn't that a sweet joke?
Yeah,
I
it's
like-
lovely.
I-
But I think it's sad that now people don't do long jokes like that. I remember when I was a kid, when you told a joke at school that you'd heard, the setup would go on forever,
Yeah.
and you make it as convoluted as you can. And now I think we're such an instant gratification. People haven't got the patience for a long setup for a joke. I think
Yes,
that's quite
Twitter's
sad.
killed it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like now you've got to do just one line punchline. That's
We should start a campaign to bring the longer jokes back.
Yeah, I don't know, because I like doing short jokes on Twitter. I'm busy. Good luck with your campaign, but I'm going to stick with Twitter. So the other thing is about it being International Joke Day is this thing about days, that every day is a something international. This day,
Out of control.
it is out of
But
control.
it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
I think there's a day that you could have is, I'd like, is International Shame People Who Haven't Turned Off the Clicking Thing on
my
their
God.
text.
yeah,
Day.
yeah.
And that, if there's one, I mean, I know there are worse criminals in the world and horrible people, but why don't you turn off the clicking thing when you
that's
text?
just once. I'd say most people I've seen doing it are probably over 50.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Because they still need the typewriter sound to feel like something works. They're like, good, and at the end of every line, they hit the side of the phone
That's
and go
so true.
ding.
That's very
My dad
good.
was like that on a computer. He would type on a computer like it was it's like Dad, you would break the keys.
But at least there's not. He doesn't answer with his number, with his phone number. I mean, there's certain. There was a time where people of a
did that,
certain
yeah,
age, we were so used to landlines where you go 444-9372, and if that's your number, hello, 555.
555.
But I still sometimes think that could be a day that we have where answer your mobile with your mobile number day in the old times. Back in the day, we knew 30, 40 phone numbers, and I think we'll stay sprightly mentally for longer than your generation.
If I ever got arrested and had one phone call, the only people I'd be able to call is either my old neighbour called Huey or 999, which is pointless. Absolutely pointless.
Thanks for that. And it's been a big month for entertaining animals on the internet. Now, I stressed that wrong. Big month for... It's not like having a cup of tea. Would you like, dear monkey, would you like a cup of tea? Join me. It's been a big month for entertaining animals. I can't say it right. For good fun animals. Fun animals on the internet. I don't know if you saw, there was the picture of the crow hitching a ride on an eagle.
Love it.
Did you see that? And I just, because there was a couple of months ago, there was the weasel hitching a ride on a woodpecker, and that was fantastic, and it went viral. And suddenly there's this new one with a crow, and so there's a crow, and it got on the back of an eagle and flew. I mean, it is good.
Yeah.
But, you know, that is good. But I'm
That's a
What do you mean,
true
but?
No,
now.
but once you've seen the weasel on the woodpecker,
Yes.
that is a mammal.
That's amazing.
These are two birds. I presume they can speak to each
right.
other and at the bird congress, and they say, let's go viral.
The internet
There's
has ruined
a
you.
kitten on a turtle. That one makes me laugh because it's like
That's
kitten.
cool.
You are definitely faster than a turtle. You've picked the wrong thing to get
I'd
a
love
lift
to sit
from.
on a turtle. It would feel absolutely perfect. As if you're just got
Yeah,
your
it would feel
bare-
quite regal, quite sort of...
yeah.
Yeah. Like a sedan chair almost, isn't it?
Yeah. This is like a first date question. If you could be any animal, then would you envy animals? I mean, they get lots of hits on the internet.
I do like dogs, and I do like jokes about dogs. And my favourite joke, I thought we were going to do this in the jokes, but my favourite joke is about the man who walks into a pet shop and says, I'm looking for dogs. So they're all on the corner. There's one dog goes, psst, pick me. He goes, do you talk? He goes, of course I talk. And the thing is, the owner of this pet shop doesn't like me, we don't get on. Because he's very jealous. I went to Harvard. He went to Aberystwyth Catering College. And we've had the tension ever since. And when I got married, he flirted with my wife, and I've never liked him. The man says, the dog talks. Why do you want to sell him? He goes, I can't take the lies anymore. That's my favourite joke.
It's very good.
It's a good joke.
It's a good joke. Well told. Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that. So another hashtag that went crazy this month on Twitter was hashtag lies I've told my parents. I don't know if you saw that. So it was mainly younger people going things like literally everyone failed that test. And one I really recognised as a dad, I'll bring you the change. Clearly. Or that one, there's about the party, everyone is going and then names all of my friends they like, but none of them are going, which I think is very... So there's, it's quite good. Were you good teenagers? Were you well behaved?
I was pretty well behaved. I was saying imaginary friend, but just...
As a teenager?
No. Just in the way that my mum... I had this person I'd invented called Maria, who if I was going to stay out all night or go to a nightclub that I was supposed to go to, I would stay at Maria's house. Okay. And my mum... I only told her like about 5 years ago that Maria wasn't real.
Did she never want to meet Maria?
She just sort of trusted me because I wasn't a rebellious teen, so she trusted me that I was, whereas actually I'd be staying at a boy's house or going out clubbing all night and coming home in the morning or whatever. But
yeah, those sorts of, when they get suspicious, like, I find that the sentence that would put me the most fearful state is every time my mum said, fine, well, I'll just call Daniel's mum and ask her then, shall I? But no, don't ask Daniel's mum. No, I'll call Daniel's mum if that's what's happening. If I don't call Daniel's mum, yeah, go ahead, mum, it's great.
I remember my mum used to know what, if I was mucking about with something in the kitchen, she used to somehow know. And it was only when I was about... I don't know, almost in my 30s that I realised if you sat in her chair, the way the pictures were arranged with glass meant you could see in the kitchen. But I just thought she knows everything. She's like telepathic. All these thoughts I'm thinking, so...
I mean, I'm not a parent now, but I'm pretty sure... They told me that Titania, Queen of the Fairies, was watching my every move and that she would fly to my dad's office and tell him what I'd done that was naughty. So if I'd been naughty at home, obviously my mum would tell my dad on the phone or whatever that I'd done this. So my dad would come home from work and go, right, so I've had a word with Titania.
Oh, my God.
And he told me that you... So every time I did something a bit naughty, I'd be looking for this bloody fairy.
But also, that's like...
well, please don't tell my dad.
In a prison situation, Titania would be such a grass. Yeah. A couple of billiard balls in a sock on the way to sort Titania, Queen of the Fairies out. I bet you were a good teenager. I bet you were well behaved.
I was, and the biggest lie I told my parents was that I was theirs.
Well, that's all we got time for. I'd like to thank Omid Djalili, Adam Hess and Angela Barnes for coming out to play today. Also Amanda Wilkie, Andrea Mann, James Martin, Eri Jackson and Adam Kay for stuff. Those are the credits. Thank you for having us. Goodbye!